We all know hot dogs. They're at every barbecue, ball game, and food stand. But have you ever stopped to think about how hot dogs are actually made? It's not someone in a kitchen carefully making each one by hand. It's machines. Fast, loud, and insanely efficient, cranking out over 1,200 hot dogs every minute. And the process? Honestly, it's kind of wild. The main ingredient in this entire process is the meat trimmings. Meat trimmings are smaller pieces of meat left over from primary cuts. Whether it's pork, beef, chicken, or turkey, those trimmings undergo a strict quality inspection for fat content, protein levels, and other standards. After passing inspection, production starts. The meat is cut into smaller pieces to be devoured by the industrial grinder that turns it into a finely minced blend, a fine consistency that's ready to be mixed with other raw materials, like flavoring such as salt, pepper, or paprika, preservatives like sodium nitrate, and fillers like breadcrumbs or cornmeal. Water or ice is also added to help with the blending and temperature control. After this step, a smooth meat batter is ready for further processing. Before we move on to the next step, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, has strict criteria for what can be called a hot dog? According to regulations, there must be transparent labeling on the type of meat source used. If it's beef, it must be clearly stated, and it must contain at least 30% meat. It's a legal requirement. In the next and most crucial step, the paste is filled into the casings. Casings are thin tubes that help hot dogs retain their shape during the entire process. Casings come in two forms. They can either be man-made, made of synthetic cellulose, which leads to consistent size and texture. Although less expensive, these are not edible and need to be removed later in the process. However, natural casings, which are widely used, are made from animal intestines. They're a bit more expensive and are used in more premium hot dogs. These casings are eaten along with the hot dog, contributing to its traditional flavor. The paste is stuffed into the casings using automated sausage fillers, which ensure the casings are not overstuffed and that no air pockets remain. Once filled, the casings are linked and twisted into long strands of equally sized hot dogs with the help of a clipping machine, ready for the next step. Both methods help reach the same objective: cooking the meat, enhancing the flavor, and adding the signature snap, while the automated process guarantees uniformity, consistency, and efficiency. These machines produce hundreds of links a minute, but here's an intriguing question. When did this food stop being handcrafted and start being engineered? Comment with your guesses below, and we will reveal them in the outro. The next stage involves the smoking and cooking of the links, where the actual transformation occurs. Factories use various methods for cooking the link. We'll discuss the two popular methods used worldwide: steaming or smoking. Steaming involves cooking the hot dogs in a steam tunnel or chamber. The steam tunnel uses a long conveyor to move the hot dogs through pressurized steam, with temperatures above 160 degrees Fahrenheit to safely cook the meat. Smoking is done in a large smokehouse under controlled temperature and humidity. It involves infusing the hot dogs with a variety of sources, such as burning wood or plant materials. This adds a rich, smoky, and savory flavor. The cooking time usually depends on the recipe being followed, which can be up to 1 to 2 hours. This step not only gives the hot dogs their flavor and taste, but the cooking also adds color to the surface and kills all pathogens, making it safe to eat. How long do you think it takes for a hot dog to be made in a factory, from meat preparation to packaging? The answer: less than 30 minutes for a typical hot dog flavor, including the grinding, stuffing, linking, cooking, inspecting, and sealing. After the cooking is done, the hot dogs are cooled quickly with water to help equalize their internal temperature. For hot dogs with synthetic cellulose casings, they are moved to an automatic peeler where the casing is removed using high-pressure water or air jets. Before they move on to packaging, each hot dog is inspected through an automated inspection system with the help of high-speed cameras and sensors. They're checked to ensure they meet the standard for safety, appearance, and performance. Factories use an inline weighing system to ensure each hot dog meets the accurate weight criteria. For inspection of foreign objects, such as metal fragments or any other contamination, the hot dogs pass through a metal detector. This is the final step before packing and shipping the hot dogs worldwide. They have survived the grinding, lost their skins, been through extreme smoke and temperature, and passed the inspection. And now they're finally ready to be packed and distributed to retailers. After being transported to the packaging machinery, they are grouped, usually in counts of 8 or 10, and lined up on plastic film trays or sleeves. These trays enter a vacuum chamber where high-power pumps suck out all the air, preventing the growth of bacteria. The film is then tightly sealed to create high shelf life and industry-safe packaging. These vacuum-sealed packs extend freshness by 4 to 6 weeks under refrigeration. Each of these packages is then cooled and moved along the line for labeling. They're printed with production date, location, and batch number, which helps with tracking in the case of a recall or quality issue. Next, the packaged hot dogs are placed in large refrigerated storage rooms kept between 32 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This helps them stay fresh and safe by slowing down any bacterial growth. Once chilled, they're loaded into special refrigerated trucks for delivery. From there, they're shipped to 2 main places. Some go to wholesale distributors who supply restaurants, stadiums, or grocery stores. Others go straight to retailers like your local supermarket, where you can buy them directly. These hot dogs move fast. In just a matter of hours, they travel from factory lines to store shelves, school cafeterias, gas station grills, and backyard barbecues. It's a tightly controlled process designed to keep everything fresh, clean, and ready to eat by the time it reaches you. It's pretty incredible to think how something made by machines at lightning speed ends up in your lunchbox or on your grill the very same day. But before all these machines, scanners, and conveyors, hot dogs have a long history across different continents, cultures, and centuries. As we all know, a hot dog is a type of sausage, and sausages date back to the 7th century. Did you know that the earliest mention of the word sausage was in the epic poem, The Odyssey? Fast forward over 1,000 years, and sausages were embraced across Europe in many distinct cultures, particularly across Germany. Germans created assorted styles of sausages, which are still widely known based on German cities such as Frankfurt and Vienna. In the later centuries, German immigrants brought their beloved sausages to America, which laid the groundwork for the American hot dog. Street vendors and butchers started selling them with soft rolls and buns in fast-paced cities like New York and Chicago, leading to the introduction of a snack you can have on the go. And the name you hear today came from an early baseball game where a cartoonist, unable to pronounce the German name Dachshund, captioned it hot dog. The name stuck, and so did the obsession. Next time you eat a hot dog, think about the process behind it. And as for the question from step 2, when did hot dogs stop being handcrafted and start being engineered? It began in the late 1800s, when industrial meat processing took over traditional sausage making. Machines took the lead, and mass production became the norm. From hand-stuffed links to millions made in minutes, hot dogs have come a long way. What if your favorite burger wasn't grilled by hand, but assembled by robots, making over 800 perfect burgers every single hour? Step 1. Beef selection and grinding. It all kicks off with the star of the show, beef. But not just any beef. Factories use a carefully selected blend of chuck, brisket, and round cuts. Why these? Because together they hit the sweet spot between lean meat and just the right amount of fat. Usually around an 80-20 ratio. That's what gives the burger its juicy bite without turning into a greasy mess. Every shipment is checked for freshness, marbling, and temperature the moment it arrives. Nothing moves forward unless it's top quality. Once approved, the meat is cooled to just above freezing to keep it fresh and tasty. Then it's roughly ground up using huge stainless steel machines. But that's just the start. The meat goes through a second round of grinding, this time much finer. This gives it the perfect texture, firm enough to hold its shape, but soft enough to melt in your mouth. No fillers, no preservatives. Just 100% pure beef, the way it should be. This process is the reason behind why those patties have that satisfying sizzle and deep, beefy flavor we all crave. And it's happening on a massive scale. Some factories process over 100,000 pounds of beef in a single day. Step 2. Patty forming and weighing. Once the beef is ground to perfection, it's time to give it shape. That's where the real factory magic begins. The freshly ground meat flows straight from the grinder onto a conveyor belt and into high-speed forming machines. These machines can shape over 300 patties every single minute, each one perfectly uniform in weight, thickness, and diameter. Why so precise? Because even being a few grams off can mess up how it cooks, how it fits in the bun, or how it tastes overall. Each patty is weighed on the spot. If it's too heavy or too light by even a gram, it's automatically rejected and recycled back into the system. That's quality control at a whole new level. And here's a fun twist. Some factories even imprint faint grill marks on the raw patties before cooking, so when they're finished, they look like they just came off a backyard barbecue. Once formed, the patties head into a blast freezer that locks in their shape and freshness in minutes. It's a fast-paced step that bridges raw meat to ready-to-cook perfection, and it happens thousands of times per hour. Step 3. Flame grilling or steam cooking. Now that the patties are perfectly shaped and frozen, it's time for the part everyone craves. Cooking. And this step is all about balancing speed with flavor. Most hamburger factories use one of two high-tech methods: flame grilling or steam cooking. In flame grilling setups, real fire is involved. The patties ride along a moving grate and actual flames sear each side, locking in juices and creating that signature smoky char you'd expect from a backyard cookout. It's not just for looks. Those caramelized grill lines actually boost flavor through the Maillard reaction. On the other hand, some factories prefer steam cooking. This method uses powerful ovens with high moisture environments to cook patties evenly from edge to center. No flames, no drying out. It's super efficient and helps preserve moisture, especially in leaner patties. Either way, the process is precise. Internal temperatures are constantly monitored, usually kept between 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, with sensors ensuring each patty reaches safe doneness. About 160 degrees Fahrenheit at the core, without overcooking. In just a few minutes, raw meat becomes a golden brown, juicy burger patty, fresh off the line and ready to meet its better half. The bun. Step 4. Bun baking and topping prep. And now onto the hamburger bun factory. The process starts with massive industrial mixers that knead up soft, slightly sweet dough. Then it's sent to special warm, steamy rooms called proofing chambers, where the dough rises until it's soft and fluffy, just right for baking. Next, machines divide and shape the dough into perfect rounds. A quick roll through a sesame seed shower, and the buns are loaded onto trays and sent through massive tunnel ovens. In just about 12 to 15 minutes, they emerge golden brown, soft on the inside, and just a little crisp on the outside, ready to cradle a juicy patty. Meanwhile, in chilled prep rooms, toppings are being prepped with surgical precision. Lettuce is shredded, pickles are sliced, and tomatoes spin through high-speed rotary blades that can process hundreds of slices per minute, without crushing or bruising a single one. Everything is kept refrigerated and timed to perfection so that when it's time to assemble, every ingredient is crisp, fresh, and factory perfect. Enjoying the flavor-packed journey? Hit that subscribe button and stick around, because in next step, you'll see how they stack hundreds of burgers per minute without making a single mess. Step 5. Assembly line magic. Now comes the most satisfying part, the final assembly, where everything comes together to build the burger you know and love. On a fast-moving conveyor belt, buns, patties, and toppings meet in perfect sync. It all starts with the bottom bun, carefully placed by robotic arms. Then come the sauces, neatly squirted in precise patterns by pressurized nozzles. Lettuce follows. Then onions, pickles, and tomato slices, all added in rapid, rhythmic motion. Then, the star of the show. The hot, freshly cooked patty is gently laid on top. Next, a robotic arm places the top bun like a crown, completing the masterpiece, the hamburger. Next comes the quality check, and where tech steps in again. Cameras and scanners check every burger for proper weight, topping placement, and alignment. If a single ingredient is missing or out of place, that burger gets pulled from the line. It's precision, speed, and flavor engineering all in one seamless operation. And it's happening at a pace no human team could ever match. Step 6. Wrapping, boxing, and cold chain. Once the burgers are fully assembled, stacked, sauced, and sealed with a bun, it's time to wrap things up. Fresh off the line, the burgers glide into the packaging zone, where robotic arms wrap each one in branded paper with lightning-fast precision. No crooked folds or loose wraps. These machines do it with the same consistency you'd expect from a luxury gift wrap line. Next, the wrapped burgers are boxed into sets of 6, 12, or even larger bulk packs, depending on where they're headed. But this isn't just stacking burgers in cardboard. Each box is labeled with a timestamp and tracking info to trace exactly which batch of beef and buns it came from. That way, if there's ever an issue, the team can trace a single burger back to the minute it was made. Then it's into cold storage, kept at a precise 35 degrees Fahrenheit to preserve freshness and prevent spoilage. And from there, refrigerated trucks take over, whether it's going to a fast food joint in Rome, a school cafeteria in Milan, or a stadium in Naples. Every burger travels under tight temperature control until the moment it hits the kitchen. But before all these machines, scanners, and speed belts, hamburgers were a totally different game. Back in the 1950s, everything was done by hand, from grinding meat, shaping patties, and flipping them on griddles one by one. It was slow, messy, and inconsistent. But then came the fast food revolution. The idea was simple: serve a hot, tasty burger in under 3 minutes. But that promise required serious innovation, so factories evolved. Manual labor gave way to automation. Flame grills were scaled up. And soon, entire production lines were dedicated to making sure that every burger tasted exactly the same, whether you bought it in Rome or Palermo. What started as a greasy diner meal became one of the most engineered foods on Earth. Next time you unwrap a perfectly stacked burger, just remember, it's not just about the food. It's the sizzling patty, the soft, golden bun, the incredible machines that come together to create that mouth-watering bite. Who would have thought something as simple as a burger could have so many delicious secrets hidden inside? Well, now you're in on them. If that got your taste buds tingling, just wait until you see what we uncover next. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Products Uncovered.